situation led to several things crumbling in my life.
It's Joshy's world, it's Joshy's world. She went to the doctor and her whole world turned. It's Joshy's world, it's Joshy's world. She's going on adventures, this island girl. She loves her tummy hikes, beaches and tours. It's Joshy's world, it's Joshy's world, this island girl.
Hi guys. It's been a minute. It has been a minute since I did that. So if you clicked on this video, you know from the thumbnail we are talking about how I went 60 full days with no social media. So in April I deleted WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I actually deleted my Gmail app from my phone. I deleted YouTube Studio. Like, I went on a no social media journey. Initially I thought it was going to be for 5 days, and then it went for 20 days, and then I wasn't ready, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 40 days, and eventually escalated to me doing 60 full days. So I have decided to tell you all about the journey. So today's video is broken down into 3 parts. We are going to talk about what led to me wanting to do a 60-day cleanse from social media, during my 60-day social media cleanse, and now after 60 days, how I feel about social media and the whole entire process on a hold. Okay, so you guys know I had the video with me being a super planner. I know, with all my stacks of books, every year I plan out stuff. It's just a part of who I am. I am a planner. So yeah, life does not always work out as planned. And I know we say it all the time, things don't work out and you adjust. However, we are gonna call it, quote unquote, their situation. So in October of 2020, a situation, which we now will say their situation, started, and unfortunately I am not allowed to talk about it at all. However, this situation led to several things crumbling in my life. So you know that domino effects. I've been watching some of these videos and it starts out with one line and then it goes to 2, 3, and then it goes to this big spread out. That is what this situation has led to. So I said to my friends, no matter how optimistic, how positive, how delighted, how much, no matter what you do, I'm optimistic. I'm a positive person. I look for the best in situations. I believe that, you know, things always happen for the best and things are always gonna work out. And even with all that I'm saying to you, this situation has crumbled up like a piece of paper. Literally crumbled up, all of these things in a matter of months. So much has changed. Like, and again, this situation that I have no control over because it's still happening. I had no control over it when it started, and in the beginning I was all optimistic, I was all positive. I'm like, you know, it's gonna work out, it's gonna work out, it's going to brush over, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna work out. You know that thing that people says that God has a sense of humor? Yep. Several punches in my face, several different things just not working out according to the plans that I have. So that led to me being like, you know, I am going to take a break from doing the most, from doing anything in fact, yeah. And that is just like social media, hiking, just like taking a break. And I'm telling you, I don't regret it. I actually feel very good about it. And I actually think it's going to be an annual thing. I don't think I'm going to do 60 days, but I genuinely think that I am going to do a fast. Because I would have done a 60-day break, and then when I went on YouTube, I recognized that a lot of people actually do 30-day breaks, 1 week breaks. But actually take break from social media. Lent is a big time, and it's not even just social media. People fast for many different things. There's the Daniel fast, there's the intermediate fast. There are lots of things. Apparently, again, just YouTube it, there are many other videos. So that is what led to me going to this fast. This situation led to a domino effect. So I had to take a break from doing everything. So in April, after deleting all of my social media accounts, I would have just said, like, I'm just not gonna do anything. I'm just not gonna do anything. And it started out that way. The first week I actually just slept most of the time, literally just slept. And then I only left the house when I felt like I needed to leave the house. So that was that. During the fast, I was speaking to my friend Alicia, and she's like, maybe you should start reading the Bible, which I'm telling you, I recommend to anybody, like, you need to read the Bible. You guys know I've always been a spiritual person. I've always been one to be like, I believe in God. I believe that you need to pray. However, I'm not, and I will never be like, to tell people like, I'm a Christian. And I think it's a process. I see myself being a Christian in the future, but I genuinely think it's a process. And during my 60-day fast, that's one of the things I actually started to do. I actually started to read the Bible. So this year, I am going to read the entire Bible. So I am doing this using the app, the Daily Audio Bible. I'm actually going to leave a link in the description below so you can actually check out the app. So in the app, there are several different things that you can do. You can read the Bible chronologically, or you can read the Bible daily, which is what I do. However, a downfall is I started this in May, so they didn't have the option for me just to start reading the Bible in May. So that's a little tricky. So if you go now, you're not going to just be able to start now in July and end next year June, just because that's not how the app works. However, because I was on a 60-day fast, I would have been able to do May and January, and then I did June and February, and now I'm doing July and March, and then I'm going to do August and April. So then I will be up to date. So by December, I'm going to read the entire Bible. So I will encourage anybody, like, the Bible, going on a spiritual journey. I feel like you need to read the entire Bible for two reasons. We read many books, so why can't we read off the Bible in a year? And two, in any subject that we've been taught or any course that we do, the Bible is like a spiritual guide, and it would be like a syllabus for school. So obviously you need to go through all the content, and again, you are not going to do, I'm not studying every story. I don't remember some of the stories. It is, I want to go through the Bible, and then next year, like many stories, I can go back and dive in. And let me tell you, they taught us the PG-13 version of the Bible. Again, my friend Alicia, I call her every time I reach to this interesting stories, and I have been to so many interesting stories in the Bible. It is amazing. So, did you know that there's a story in the Bible where this gentleman chopped his wife into 12 pieces and sent it to all the tribes of Judah, just because the day before, when he was in the city of Benjamin, the gentleman came out, hanging on the door when he was visiting the city, and said, send him out because they want to have sex with him. Yes, in the Bible. They sent out the lady, and the next morning when they returned her, they would have raped her and she died. So to send a message to all the tribes of Israel to ensure that they know what was happening, he chopped her body into 12 pieces. So this is me. So did he go 1, 2, 3, 4, chop her legs in 3, so that would be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or was it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 legs, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, her head 9, and then chop her body in the inner part of her body here, 1, 2, 3. Like, I am just trying to figure out how he chopped her body into 12. Number 1. And then I'm like, and then he had to write several notes, and there was no photocopying machine, so obviously he had to write this 12 times. Obviously they eventually went to war. This is in the time of the judges, so there was no king ruling Israel at this time. Did you know that Lot's daughters, they drunked him off and had sex with him and got pregnant? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that was pretty interesting. The people of Israel sick my stomach. Like, let's just not even tell you. There are many stories, and again, you know, they told us the story of David and Goliath, sing shop when he was younger, became a hero. But what they did not tell us is that Saul is a crazy man, and after all of that, David had to flee because Saul was trying to hunt him down. Yes, I am saying to you, the Bible is a pretty interesting thing to read, and I am pumped. I actually still go and read the Bible every day. So that's a perk, like toot from my 60-day journey, that I am still carrying with me, that I am still so pumped about reading the Bible. And again, it's really good to have somebody that you can talk to about it, because I'm telling you, when you reach to these stories, girl, it's good. So I did that. I actually celebrated my birthday during the 60-day fast. So if you know me, you know, always doing the most. However, this year I actually didn't do the most. My other half, he actually took me to breakfast, which was amazing. I got some cute pictures, yes, from my birthday this year. And then we went home, I had a nap, and then we went to see a movie. What did we watch? I think we watched Godzilla versus King Kong. Yes, we watched Godzilla versus King Kong. So my birthday was pretty amazing. However, I switched off my phone. Well, I placed it on airplane mode. So I was on a break in April. So by the time my birthday came around, it was already like a month into my fast. So you know, a lot of people don't really remember you till your birthday. So I just couldn't deal with all of the calls and all of the, I just couldn't. And I'm saying to anybody who sent me birthday greetings, who wrote on my Facebook wall, sent me Instagram message, tried to call me. At one point, people just started to call my boyfriend to find out what's happening. And I just want to say thank you. I really do appreciate all of the wishes. I just didn't want to deal with all of that excitement, so I would have put my phone on airplane mode. And also during my 60-day, okay, I don't want to cry about it. Okay, Joy died. So I know I went to the vet and her lungs and her liver failed her. We're not gonna cry. Okay, I don't want to cry about it, but Joy died. it was just a thing. So that's also another reason why I didn't really want to be bothered because I just didn't want like that situation to, I was already feeling down. I knew it was my birthday, and so her liver and her kidney failed her. I got up like a week before my birthday. It was the 9th, and she was just not being her regular self. And I was like, you know, obviously something is wrong. So I take her to the vet, and she actually had to get some drips, and they really did all that they could to save her, and they didn't. And I went and I saw her the day after I took her to the vet. And I just remember rubbing her head saying, you know, you can't die, right? We have so many more adventures to go on, and you haven't met Joshua as yet. So you can't die. And the following morning, they called and said that she passed away. And I can, okay, maybe I should take a 5. I should take a 5. So the following day they called and said that I have the option of them burying her for me, or I could come and get her body and I could bury her myself. So I had to go to the vet and like get her body and take it to my mom's house and actually bury her by my mom. My mom actually didn't want me to drive, so I actually had to just sit at the vet, and I was just sitting outside like just crying. It was hard. Like, if you know me, you know, like, you know, joy is a big part of my life. She still is. Like, months later, I'm still here. Like, I just try not to think about it, because I feel like every time I think about it, I always end up just crying. Like, I am grateful for the vets, though. I feel like they did all that they could have done. And I am grateful because I also know that I would have had a lot of memories with Joy. I did a lot of stuff with her. So, like, I don't feel like left out with regards to her. But that was a blow during the 60 days. So that is also why my stuff was extended too. I just didn't want to deal with anybody or anything. I don't know. You'd have to be a dog person to really understand. Like when Jay died, and then this is my second dog that died. I had a dog that died before. His name is Jay. I just remember just being so distraught. I actually had to take time off from work. It was just like, it was horrible. And then it was just the same thing with Joy. And again, I was closer to Joy than I was to Jay, because then Joy was my comfort when Jay died. And then I would have made a promise to myself that I'm going to do more with Joy. So, you know, there are many hikes that I went with her. I went to the beach with her. You know, I went bike riding and she was with me. I just did a lot of stuff with her. And yeah, she died during my 60 days. So that also was a reason why I just couldn't. I just felt like, again, this situation would have just had a domino effect on so many things. And then my dog dies. Like, that was a blow. So I started to read the Bible. Joy died. I celebrated my birthday. I had a drive-by shower. You guys know I made the announcement that I am expecting, and there's actually a video. You can click the card above, or you can click below to watch that video where I give you my full pregnancy story, and we made the announcement on my social media. So we actually had a drive-by shower, which I'm super grateful. If you showed up, if you didn't show up because of some reason, there were so many people who called me after, sent me messages. I am grateful for you guys. That also happened during my 60-day, and I would say my 60-day also led to realizing who your friends really are. Like, when I made the decision to delete my social media, I actually did not have a conversation with anybody. I did not announce it on any of my platforms. It was just like, it's gonna get done. And actually, so much so I don't even think I told my other half. He was just there sending me WhatsApp messages, and then he calls me and he's like, you haven't been responding to my messages. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you that I deleted everything. So that was a transition. And I would say, again, I'm not saying that, okay, let's be realistic. I disappeared for 60 days. Okay, 1 week you don't hear from me, fine. 2 weeks you don't hear from me, fine. 3 weeks, a month. Like, obviously after a particular amount of time, if you were really my friend, you would definitely be like, something is wrong, and call me. Crystal calls me on the phone like, I don't know why you have me calling you. And there were many people, like, you know, after a particular period of time, they just recognize that you were gone, and they would definitely reach out for you. I'm saying that 60-day really did reveal, like, you know, the people who are truly in your corner and the people who really look out for you. I'm telling you, by the time Cindy found out, Cindy called me every week. So I deleted my social media. However, I didn't turn off my phone, so I was still a phone call away. And many of my friends, they would just call me at one point. Alicia didn't just call, she just popped up at my house and she's like, you know, I am gonna wash your hair and style your hair, and we're gonna go and see a movie. And then there were many days that she just called. Like, I will say to you again, I couldn't turn off text messages, so that became a way of communicating. Like, people just said, like, a lot of my friends did reach out to me via that medium, and I am so grateful for you guys. I really am grateful for you guys. I cannot tell you how much I am thankful for the well wishes, the calls, like the pop-ups. It meant a lot. And I would say that disconnecting yourself from the world, you will definitely be able to recognize who is in your corner. So the 60-day also gives you a lot of time to reflect on life, your life choices, the plans you've made, like the decision, like a lot of thinking happens during that 60-day because you don't have the noise of social media. We do not recognize how connected we are to our phones. Like, in the mornings you get up and it's a norm for you to get up and scroll on Instagram, scroll on Facebook, scroll on Snapchat, go on Twitter, and we're so accustomed to the noise of social media, we forget that life happens sometimes. So that break definitely got me thinking about a lot of my life choices, a lot of the plans that I had, a lot of things. Again, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things, a lot of writing happened, a lot of like meditation, a lot of like questioning decisions happened during that 60-day. And again, it is all for the good. I'm not gonna be like it was all bad. That was actually a good thing to reflect, to meditate, and really look at your life. So I decided that during the process, I actually also went and I spoke to a pastor on several occasions. Thank you very much, Pastor David. I do appreciate all the afternoons that you listen to me chat. I think that if you cannot afford to go to therapy, I believe that pastors are available. While I believe that talking to your friends and family is good, like having somebody outside of your immediate circle just like to hash out things is really good. And to be honest, I don't even think you need therapy because you're broken. Sometimes you just need therapy for somebody to tell you something in a different way, or somebody to confirm an idea that you had, or somebody to just reassure that, you know, you're actually not complete shit. And coming to the place where you're like, I did a lot and I've always been doing the most. So 60 days of just not doing the most was really good. So also, again, with social media, I will say to you again, I don't see myself as someone who compares my life to others. I have always said to my friends when I'm at the back, and my poor broke and hungry, and I'd be like, you know, I was born poor. And I will always tell people I wasn't born with certain opportunities. I wasn't anything that I've accomplished. I've really worked really hard, and I have dedicated a lot of time and effort to lots. Anything that I have, it wasn't given to me. I had to work really hard for it. Like a lot of things that I've overcome, and I'm very open with it. My YouTube channel is just now developing, and for the past few years I've always shared my life. I've always been open, and I don't think that I'm a person who compares myself to others. However, from speaking to the pastor and just being disconnected from social media, you recognize that you don't compare yourself consciously, but like sometimes subconsciously you do. For instance, you are applying for a new job, and then everybody here is applying. Everybody's here, oh, I got a new job, I got a promotion. It really does dampen your spirit sometimes. Or again, for all of us who are studying, you know, COVID would have really put a spoke. Like I couldn't do my exams. Like exams in Antigua were cancelled. And I'm like, then everybody's here posting that, you know, I'm graduating, I'm passing my subjects. And I'm like, oh, like it does dampen your spirit sometimes. So sometimes, and I would recommend, and I actually think, I don't think I'm going to do 60 days, but I genuinely think that it's going to be an annual thing where I actually plug out of social media at least for a week. It may be 2 weeks, it may be a month. It will be an annual thing that at some point I delete all of my social media. So I actually had to reinstall WhatsApp before my 60-day was done, just because my Aunt Joshuanette, she is battling breast cancer again. So she was the only way that I could reach out to her was via WhatsApp. She lives in Florida, and I really would appreciate in the comments below you just leave a little prayer for her. Not just for her, for me, my mom, her children. Like, it's just a roller coaster of emotions. So I really had to. So I installed WhatsApp, and again, with lots of discipline, I only spoke to my aunt. Just because, again, I'm on a social media fast. However, life didn't stop. Me taking a break from doing a lot of stuff. However, a lot of stuff kept happening, and that is also another reality that I had to face. While I took a break, lots of stuff didn't take a break. This, again, even with me praying more and me being a bit more biblical, this situation to this day, I still have days that I cry. I still have days that I feel down. And that is just because life doesn't wait on anyone. So, yeah, I am really grateful that I did take that route. 60 days, no social media. At the end of it, I will say I am grateful. We're at the end of my 60-day. I log back into all of my social media. However, somebody hacked my Instagram, so now I have to create a whole new Instagram. Bummer. After all these emails back and forth with Instagram, I still cannot get into my old Instagram. So this is me having this new Instagram handle. Please do follow my new Instagram. And I know I don't have any posts yet, but we are gonna definitely get to posting and keeping you guys up to date as to what has been happening in my life on Joshuanette's World. So some tips I want to leave for anybody who decides to take a fast. Once you decide to take a fast, number one, you should ensure you have some goals set. When I started my fast, I didn't have goals. Only during my fast, speaking to my friend Alicia, I came up with goals, and then some of the goals that I came up, I wanted to be a bit more spiritual. I wanted to get a feel, a handle, control, whatever you want to say, of my emotions. I wanted it to be a bit not I can be very explosive, so I wanted to get a handle on my emotions, and I wanted guidance from God. Like, I wanted some more guidance with regards to my life paths and the decisions and the choices that I made, and I wanted rest, and not sleep rest, like spiritual, like rest emotionally, physically. And again, once you decide to take a fast, I've watched many videos on YouTube. People fast for different reasons. People disconnect from social media for different reasons. It could be you're looking for a job. It could be that, you know, you've been going through some tough times. You can decide to take a fast. The biggest fast I've seen is actually Daniel fast. It is a thing. It is a thing. So ensure that you know what you're doing when you fast. So number one, ensure you set some goals. Number two, understand it takes time. We have been so connected to our phones, and even if you're gonna do a fast where you're gonna take away yourself from food, it's not gonna be easy. It is not going to be easy. However, as time progressed, because the first few days I always got up and I still did the regular, and there were many days I was tempted to just turn back on and log back into social media, but I'm glad I really went the full mile. So you will have temptation, you will feel like you want to give up, but you know, definitely stick to it. So those are two things you need to remember when you're going to do a fast. Number three, fasting doesn't solve all of your problems. So you're not gonna go on a 60-day fast and then boom, I get a job, boom, I get promoted, or like a big life-changing event happens. It doesn't work like that. Remember, in the video I said the situation, it still hasn't been resolved. We are going on 9 months and it is not resolved. We're still in the tunnel. You're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Again, I'm not allowed to talk about it. I can't comment. I can't discuss anything with regards to it. But I went on a 60-day fast, and foolishly I may have thought that, you know, at the end of the 60 days it's gonna be done because I prayed a bit more and I read the Bible a bit more. Lies. It didn't finish. It's still a process. So that is something you have to know when you go into a fast. Like, whatever you prayed about or whatever you think is gonna happen at the end, it doesn't always happen. Number 4, although you do a lot of reflecting, a lot of journal writing, a lot of meditation, and a lot of stuff, again, life didn't pause when you went on a pause. So you still have to come back and catch up on a lot of stuff. You still have to come back and deal with life, quote unquote, adulting. So that is another thing I should definitely mention with your 60-day, or if it's your 30-day, or if it's your Daniel fast, whatever you're fasting about. Just know that obviously life happens. And then another tip that I want to leave: you will be at a better place. I definitely believe that you're going to be at a better place after 60 days. A lot of reflection, a lot of looking back. You are going to be grateful that you took some time away from the world. So I discovered it's so hard to disconnect. It's so hard because you have so much going on, like your job, your family, your relationship, your personal relationship, your friendships. Like, you may be going to school. There may be so much happening in your life. You really cannot disconnect from it all, which is scary. It is scary that you cannot have a week when you just don't do anything. And again, with me doing the most or have so much going on all the time, I had to learn that a lot of stuff. Again, your priorities will change. I'm telling you, after 60 days of no social media, I am no guru, but I will say I would recommend to anybody when life gets really tough, life gets really hard, a 60-day fast, a 30-day fast, it could be a week fast, is definitely recommended. And I took the journey of no social media. So I didn't at one point my friends were like, I'm an extremist because 60 days is a lot, but everybody knows that their story, everybody knows their struggle, everybody knows, like, you know, what goes on at the back of your head, and only you can really and truly answer the question, do I need 1 day? Do I need 2 days? Do I need 20 days? Do I need 60 days? And just remember that at the end of it all, it is a learning experience. You are supposed to grow. You are supposed to feel good afterwards. So yeah, that was me. 60 days without social media. Different. Being plugged in for years and just plugged it out for 60 days. It was interesting. I learned a lot. But guys, I've missed you. Ensure you go and watch all of my other videos, and yes, my video about my pregnancy announcement. It was on social media for weeks now, so it's actually not a secret. But that is the next video you should definitely click on, just because there are some interesting details in that one. But until the next video, bye.